Right, let me just load up roll 20 again.
Whilst you're away, Andy, we worked out badgers apparently dig at the speed of...
The speed of what, sorry?
2 men with shovels, a badger can dig faster than...
Or at the same speed as, roughly. Thus meaning we have essentially...
Badger digging speed.
We have 16 men with shovels all on our hands.
Yeah. They dig faster than 2 people with shovels. According to nature detectives, dig badger dig. A PDF.
Okay.
I was doubtful till you said PDF.
Oh, good.
Was that Sam's internet or mine? Oh no.
There was another one that happened when you said, like, I'll just start it up. Like, I think you also cut then for a second. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, mine does seem a little in and out all of a sudden. Let me just make sure Steam hasn't started downloading something.
Badgers can run 20 miles an hour.
That's fast. Little badger.
Fuck.
British Badger Association.
I think my computer's just going through some like just startup processes, which is just making it jank. Seems stable enough now. Cool. Okay, remind me of your roll, Finnan. 17.
I rolled a 17 on 8 badgers doing some high maintenance digging.
Okay. As these badgers start to kind of spawn around you and the hair goes on and they start to dig, in this kind of small area that you've already kind of built around you, they start to dig downwards. You're all being completely spattered by soil and earth as it is thrown up at you. And with a 17, they start to make good progress downwards. However, based on them all being of different in different areas, you notice that they're all starting to burrow down into separate little kind of holes. They're not making like a large pit, and they're going downwards into like these kind of different areas. It isn't like a kind of perfectly joined area. Even with the 17, it's pretty obvious that it's going to take them a little while to be able to dig down far enough for you to start building an area that's going to completely tunnel you down and far enough to be able to build some area. You can continue to stay here if you think that is the right protocol.
I turn to Nubs and shrug and go, "Rrr."
Okay, system.
Right. And I think Nubs is Finnan, as you look up and look around, everyone is just covered in speckles of dirt and stuff like that. Yeah. The badgers are just like.
I also turn to lads and go, free camouflage, double winner.
That's really good. That's very badger based. Nubs just looks over at Bunga. Alright, we need a plan to get out of here now, because we can't stay here forever, clearly.
Bunga's gonna get into his bag of holding. You see him almost kind of disappearing into it. And with a little bit of effort, he's going to pull out corpse of a winter wolf, which I didn't even realise I had in there, stashed in it. He's then going to take off his Yeti fur cloak, attempt to wrap it around the wolf. So it looks like, I guess, a person. And he's going to turn to Shamash. Lizard man, you have fire. Fire, he says, holding a unlit torch towards Shamash.
Oh, yes, I have. I always have fire. Say I'm a rather hot fellow indeed.
Yes. Light.
Yeah.
Light.
Me? Oh,
Yes.
yes, of course, yes. And he's like sort of just like goes, poof, just like a little poof, basically. And just a little lick of flame pops out, sort of rolls in a little ball towards it. Oh, well, you need more than that, I suppose.
I forget whenever you play Shamash, you become Sean Connery, James Bond.
No, it's supposed to be Roger Moore. I'm just wondering, do I cast a spell there, or do I have can I just make fire anyway? I forget if that's one of his abilities.
I mean, he has
Yeah, so like, yeah, and I've got dragon breath.
Yeah, you've got dragon breath. I would say with the mix of the two. I believe he has a cantrip as well. Yeah, I would say Shamash is able to conjure a small amount of fire from his mouth. Yeah, or even his hands. I think he can cast fireball and stuff. If it's just a small flame, he'll be able to conjure that.
Yeah, or I can create a bonfire as a cantrip.
There you go.
So essentially, we're saying I can set this thing on fire with my abilities.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, cool. Shamash sets it on fire. That's what I call a hot dog, he says. The A-bot. He has to say. Sorry. Okay.
Unger, holding the torch, is going to sort of
A-bot
pause.
smiles gleefully.
He's going to pause and sort of look around the party. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All quite slowly and excruciatingly slowly, in fact. And then kind of seem a bit confused, and then look at him and point to himself. 6.
And then Emmerich's like, "Oh, hello," and Corey walk.
Unger looks at the 6 torches he has in his bag and shrugs. Light, fire, all of them. All of them. Fire.
Me? Yeah, of course. And he just waves his hand, and somehow that makes them just all become alight.
Unger's then going to stand up, crouching down, with this corpse of a winter wolf wrapped in a cloak under one of his arms, and all these lit torches kind of bundled into his other arm. And he's going to throw the winter wolf off the cliff, along with 1 torch, 2 torches, all the torches. Hopefully looking like the party is kind of tumbled to their death down this cliff, and there's like some remnants of corpses with cloaks and torches and stuff like that.
Okay. Can you?
Let's go.
Okay. Can you roll me? Yeah, I get it. So you're kind of like so this is this essentially like an attempt to kind of make a break for it, and it's a ruse to make a break.
Yeah, or at least if they sort of come past where we were, they're going to hopefully see some torches and maybe a ragged corpse covered in a cloak way down in the ravine and think that we've fallen off.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Roll me a performance check, I would say, in terms of this, like, kind of a ruse. It's not going to be completely go off of this, but it's also like adding a bit of flair to how you throw everything to kind of make it look convincing.
Okay, I'm going to use my one and only inspiration for this.
Oh.
Now with a natural 20. I imagine, are you doing this on your own, Unger, or do you have the rest of your party kind of helping to kind of perform this?
I guess I'm doing it on my own, because I've just got that one corpse and my own cloak wrapped around it.
I think Nubs would join in, at least.
Yeah, if anyone wants to help.
I want to... What do I need to roll to figure out what he's trying to do? Insight? Or...
I mean, it depends. Unger, are you explaining to people what you're doing, or are you just doing it?
He's not the
insight check as he's doing this. Then Medica.
Oh yes.
The 20. You immediately figure out what he's trying to do.
Oh.
Okay. I'll use like a delicate thaumaturgy to help enhance the ruse.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'll allow. Well, he's already rolled a natural 20, so he's good.
Yeah,
But
making even better.
Absolutely, I'll allow you to also roll a performance check to add on to his natural 20. To add on to. Essentially, what I'll use this is to kind of set a benchmark for any checks that the pursuers will need to make when they are scouting to understand how they decipher. So
ignore that.
It's still a 7. I was just looking for more numbers to bulk it up with, so we have a 24 in total. We'll regard it. We'll forget the fact that it's a natural.
Oh no, I'm falling.
I don't know if we could all. I don't want to dogpile it too much, but Nubs would be like trying to prepare the ground so it looks like there's been horse hoof prints up to like where the crash site is, as it were. So using like bits of maybe old horseshoes and sort of standing on it with string and stuff and like pacing it out, preparing it.
Okay, very extremely elaborate, but I'll allow
Seeing Nubs do that,
really
Abard stands there. Abard slowly rides up next to Nubs on his horse and makes actual hoof prints.
all right.
I'm imagining this becoming like the Vat of Acid episode of Rick and Morty, where the guy's just like, "What the hell happened here? There's badgers and everyone's dead. Man, I have to figure this out.
Yeah.
Get the boss in. This is gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. As you will kind of like run over to the edge of the ravine to assist Unger in what he's doing to kind of like create this performative display that will throw your pursuers off your trail. Galloping over, as you're now kind of huddled closer, kind of putting together this plan. After you kind of like throw everything off the side of the cliff, you stamped around. Shamash is kind of standing there, horseless now, and he's kind of asking around for a lift. But what are you doing in this moment now as you kind of do all of this? Like, what's the next step from here?
I would say looking for some window of opportunity in which way to go, sort of north, south.
Okay. Roll me a perception. Roll me a perception check. Okay, 14. Right, as your hearts all begin to pound now as you look to make other moves, looking again up into the night sky, you see the growing shroud of riders as they all start to form, obviously discussing about their next kind of pursuit and where they need to look to. Unger, as you look around now, kind of frantically trying to figure out what the next step, you spot something. Over to the north, a narrow outcropping of mountain ahead, faintly illuminated by the moonlight that is being cast. It's still at least half a mile away, but it looks like a ravine that begins to narrow to a point. If you're going to make a crossing over into the mountains, this looks like it might be one of the only places that is visible to you. Now, the one benefit that you have in this ruse is the sake of distance. And as you just look at the pure numbers massing around you, I remind you that you are outnumbered in this situation, and you're far from shelter. And if chase were to begin, it would show very little sign of slowing. Now, as you kind of all look around, what do you say to each other? What do you do?
Unger's going to point out this spot he's seen that could potentially be a crossing to the more keen-eyed members of the party, i.e. Nubs and probably Shamash, I think.
Okay. Well, that's the problem. This guy's wits about it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Nubs just nods back, just a little. It's pretty keen.
You can make us sneaky, Nubs.
Oh, yes, I can. Yes, it's been a while, but you're right. He's just putting his hand up in the air, and for some reason doesn't need to do that, but that come through.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Oh, and
Oh, I can't see
Pass
anything.
without trace. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So pass without trace is now being cast on the entire party.
Okay, everyone gets a plus
Plus
10
10
to
bonus.
your stealth checks. Okay, concentration up for 1 hour. Okay. How do you go about making your way?
I would say probably trying to stay low, like a crouched, a swift crouched sneak. Sort of basically like ducking down, but not moving super quietly and slowly.
Okay, and do you do this along the tree line, or are you staying closer to the ravine side? I would say there's probably about a 40, 50 foot gap between the edge of the ravine and the tree line, like of open kind of ground.
What do you think, Nudge?
Nub says, "Yep, I think we go quietly enough. We should be able to make it." And Shamash looks over his shoulder at you, Avebard. He says, "Shall we tiptoe? After all, silence is golden." It's just like, and silence breaks out across the whole party. So we're sort of like, "Yeah, okay."
Shamash.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd say we
Go
probably
for it,
stick
stay
to.
low.
Yeah, seeing as we're by the edge of the ravine, I imagine we kind
Yeah.
of stick to the edge of the ravine.
Just the edge of the ravine. Okay.
Bit of terrain between us and them, and more importantly, distance. If we make it equal to it.
I would say the edge of the ravine is far more open than the tree line, but yeah, it's a 40-foot dash back to the tree line should you need it, but it's going to give you the most clear uninterrupted path to make your way as quickly as possible.
I would also like to, when we start moving, I would like to start casting Call Lightning, as in not to cast a lightning bolt, but to start summoning the storm.
Okay.
At that point, I also lose the concentration for the fog cloud, but it starts to like 8. Maybe I can try to make the storm appear more naturally.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Again, like this one.
So you're just kind of starting to create kind of clouds and lightning out in the distance.
Yeah, in like the a little bit more where the pursuers are, but like not directly on them or not directly on us.
Sort of between them, basically, right?
Kinda, yeah, kinda,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as clouds begin to gather, as you call this, you kind of hear the faint rumbling as the clouds start to move in. Now, behind you, and it's probably over kind of like again probably equidistant between you and the ravine, is the group of albatrosses that are growing and coming back together, and you now start to see them as they begin to open out their formation and fan out. Some heading back over towards the tree line, others beginning to head over to the other side of the ravine as they all then start to pass and kind of build out into this flanking line. Your cloud, though, Medica starts to at least block that path between you and them, and will mean that they'll have to kind of redirect some of their journey. Okay. So, as you start to see these riders begin to kind of sweep downwards and kind of coming towards you, they haven't actively seen you. You are under the effect of Pass Without a Trace. I would ask everyone, if you are moving kind of more like, I guess, a hastily kind of push along, then everyone roll me a stealth check as you begin to move.
Would the stealth check be with an advantage because of the previous fog, or would that be already gone?
So that was to help on the rolls that I was making as you were within the hole.
Roger.
Yeah, so as that now dissipates, you would, and I guess as that fog does dissipate, you begin to now starting to see the flaming torches of kind of the scouts moving closer and closer to the edge of the tree line now, and would say that they're probably at this stage around 100 foot away from the edge of the tree line. So it is getting kind of closer and closer to them coming to the edge of the tree line, and you passing this kind of half-mile distance between here and the point that you think you need to get to. Okay. Looks like the lowest out of that is a 15, so I'm going to say in terms of stealth, that is extremely high as you all start to follow. Can I get a marching order, please? Who's up front?
I would say Unger.
Yeah.
Trying to stay up front.
Okay.
Just keen to get out of there.
I'm going to call it now. Finnan's at the back because he's just he was too busy engrossed in the badgers and realised everyone would run off, so he's just a little bit behind.
Abard's in the middle and he's put the hood up on his cloak.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Medica is behind Abard, trying to, create the storm cloud whilst running a little bit, looking backwards all the time.
Okay. Amazing. Sorry, let me just get some tunes back on. Okay. As you will start ducking down and as you start to begin to move, Abard, you feel a strange twinge in the back of your head, as if eyes are upon you, and I ask you to roll me a wisdom save.
14.
You feel observed, intruded on, and then within your head, as if someone's standing right next to you, you hear, "There you are."
God?
Struck you, Satan.
Huh? No. You spied on me, didn't you, you cheeky lad? And I'd ask you to roll me another wisdom save to see if you recognise this voice. With a natural 20, you immediately recognise the voice of Zephyros.
My Sigmar's cloudy balls! I thought you were in Daggerford, but you were here, in my head!
Much closer than that, my boy. You gave me a little signal. I've been wondering where the fuck you've been. I've been in Daggerford with Sirach for a very long time, but you spied on me through whatever it was you spied on me. And now I had your signal. Where are you?
On the edge of a cliff, somewhere near Silvery... near the Moonwood.
Moonwood.
We're in a bit of a spot of bother, though.
Is anyone saying this out loud?
Yeah, everybody's saying this out loud, but you don't hear anything on the other end.
Fancy man. You've been hit on head too many times. You lost mine.
It's Sephiroth. He's speaking to me. Can you find us? We need help. The cultists on the Seagull are coming for us. Can you pick us up in the...
Unger said, like, as if to, like, shut him up. You know, like, we have to get him quiet.
Yeah, I'm just going to rush up to Abon and kind of cover it by his mouth with his hand.
Mouth, yeah, I was just thinking that.
Okay,
Abon just gonna, with his other hand, just going to go, shh.
are you doing this forcefully or no?
Yeah, pretty forcefully.
Okay, roll strength and see if you can stop him. Okay, 24.
I'd say that works against Abard. Abard in that moment takes a second, thinks, looks down at his horse so he can communicate with telepathically, and then just thinks out loud. Thinks really loudly in his head. You can still hear me, can't you?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Why? Why do you ask?
Right, we're on the edge of a cliff in the Moonwood.
Can you send a signal?
What sort of signal would you need?
Anything to show me where. We are flying your way. I picked up an inkling of where you were, but I need some sign of signal.
Right, hang on, 2 seconds, and then Abard just sort of gestures at Unger to remove the hand from his mouth.
Unger sighs and slowly removes his hand.
I'm talking to Zephyros through my mind. He would like us to send him some sort of signal of where we are. I was thinking that maybe I could cast lightning, but of course that means that the cultists will probably find us. But maybe we could hold them off until he arrives.
Well, not so fast. Lightning is a natural phenomenon, though it is not very cloudy tonight.
Unger kind of turns over to Medica and says, "Isn't Shiny Head Man doing something with now?"
With the clouds.
Is there like a thunderstorm you summoned?
Is it brewing? Is it? Yeah. Or...
Yeah, it is. It is brewing. There's like a lot of clouds appearing. I'm not sure if there's like maybe a little rumbling to get an effect, but not visible lightning yet.
But I mean, yeah. Fuck it. I reckon she'll go.
Right, I need to hit someone. And then
Look at me, it's just no
Abard
stop.
I think it just points at Shamash.
Abard looks down at presumably one of the badgers.
Oh my god. They're still just burrowing away. They
Yeah.
come with us.
Yeah, you've left them behind.
This is going to really add to the mystique of when they do find this badger run where it's been hit by lightning.
Crispy.
The one badger with the hat looks up to the sky as it brews above. You get like the particles of dirt like raising up off the ground from the magnetic force. What's about to happen?
How far away are we from the badgers? I'm assuming it's not within melee range.
No.
You hear Zephyros's voice back in your head, Abard. Are you still there?
Yes, we're just trying to work out how best to send you a signal, and then Abard just looks at Shamash. Is there anything else you can do, like summon starlight or something?
I'm imagining that you're all kind of walking along doing this, or are you standing still? Because I will remind you that you have like about 50, 60 albatrosses kind of sweeping not too far from you. So.
We're sort of scurrying, but at a slower pace than we were before.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite a scrappy movement as you're all kind of shouting over each other's shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, it was a well-oiled machine, and now it's kind of,
Yeah.
there's a spanner in the works.
Okay.
Right, lightning or no lightning, boys? Just somebody tell me if we're doing this.
Fuck.
Why don't we get to the place first
lightning.
and then we do the lightning? Okay, it's just I'm just, like a little bit stressed to everyone. Come on.
Many guys just concentrating on the cloud and like trying to listen. Like, what do you fucking want?
Can we not just wait till we get to the cover and then we can do the lightning? How's about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nub's
Alright,
idea. Good.
tell Zephyros to calm his tits
That's
until we
what
get. That would be that.
Hey Bart, why are you ignoring me? Hey Bart, because you're a needy girlfriend.
You left me in Daggerford for over 7 months. And now you put me on hold.
Are you ghosting me, Abard?
Why aren't you on Discord, kitten?
God.
Right, yes. 7 months. I'm sure a couple of minutes more won't hurt.
Very good.
Okay, what do you all do?
We move quicker. Yes.
Yeah, faster. Come on.
Okay. As you begin to kind of run along through the night, huddle close together, as you start to kind of like try and piece and sway over this, sway away this kind of additional this additional worry. You hear now behind you kind of sharp screeches that pierce the night air once more, and you start to then kind of getting closer and closer to Medica's cloud as they start to fan around it. You spot the flying creatures kind of coming back into view. Their kind of wings kind of spreading out as they start to pass through the night sky. They are moving faster than you. And yes, that you are moving at speed as well, but with the imminent threat from your left hand side from the tree line as well. It is going to be a tight moment if you aren't ended up both covered from aerial and from the tree line. So, as you continue to move, you're moving through the kind of rocky area, keeping a close eye on the scouts that are coming from the tree line. Just looking at the average stealth that you rolled. Okay.
Very stealth.
Very stealthy. You see that the torches from the tree line are getting closer and closer to the edge now. Their pace has begun to pick up as they start to fan out. And looking behind you, you start to see some reaching the edge of the tree line as they walk out. Some close to where you previously tried to hide. And you see them pay particular interest to where you assume the hole may be. It's hard to make out exactly in the darkness, but what you see is, and you hear a kind of muffled as you see a badger clinging to a man's throat as he starts to try and pull. You see another man starting to pound this badger in the side, and you see more and more from the tree line start to kind of gather over to this area as they pull their friend away. What this does is it causes.
I was thinking more and more badges just appearing out.
And as you kind of see this, it sets off a chain reaction down the tree line now as you start to see the bodies of these people moving from the tree line kind of all pivot over to this area, and they all start to make their movement down that way to understand what is going on. At least you've certainly nullified the fact that you have gained yourself more headroom between those making their way across the tree line and the gap, creating much more of a gap between you and the destination and the last person within this chain. Now, as that continues to move, casting looks over your shoulders. You start to see now that the riders in the sky are picking up serious pace, and as you start to see Medica, they were moving closer and closer to your cloud now. Is there anything you do to change this, or is it maintain more of just like a stormy cloud?
I'll try to make it more intensive, but not release any actual lightning bolts.
Okay. I'd imagine you've got complete control over this. It's through concentration anyway, so you're able to darken the cloud, and it becomes wider and wider as it starts to force the riders out and fanning out into two columns now as they start to pass around the cloud. However, in their numbers, there are far more behind those two columns to come, but you start to see the first few break through regardless. And looking at their pace, they're at least double your speed riding on the back of these. And I'd ask for our leader Unger to make I'll allow you to make a call on this. It could be an insight, it could be a perception, it could be a survival, to understand how far you've got until they potentially start to come over the top of you.
I think Nubs is the party leader, so.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was Unger.
Yeah.
To an insight, I think. Or would you say what else? Investigation was
So-
to do, or
so,
just insight?
I would say insight, a survival, or even a perception. I would say to try and figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll just go for classic perception. I think it's a good one for this kind of roll. Oh no.
Mm.
8.
Nubs, as you look over your shoulder and look at the riders now starting to cloud the sky and silhouetted perfectly against the backdrop of the moon, it's hard to tell their exact pace, but all you know is that they are moving fast. They don't know where you are, so that it looks like their intent is going to just complete survey of the land in front of them. Whether or not you're going to make it to that area in time before the riders come down on you, it's hard to know.
Okay. Nubs just turns to the party and gives them a thumbs up because he's not going to try and break the morale just now. So I suppose we're going to keep going.
Okay. Right. As you will start to move through, I'd ask everyone to make me an athletics check as you start to keep up your pace and stay focused on maintaining a good speed.
Medica 22.
Can I use my inspiration?
Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone shout out your rolls, please. 22.
Finnan 17, Kuraheen 5.
About 23.
Unger,
Oh my god,
17.
Joe.
Nubs rolled a 9 twice. That's just what he rolled.
Abard gives passive movement buff. Would that help anyone in any way?
Could do. Maybe.
What is in additional speed?
Yeah, I give people plus 10 feet movement if they're close to me.
10 feet. I give you a +1 to the average.
Cool. So
Like
I
that.
rolled 2 10s.
That's the average.
Oh, to the average. Yeah. Good.
Oh, right, sorry. So you've got a 9 and a 9 for Nubs and Shamash.
No, Nubs got just
very
2
well.
9s. Smashed did 20. So it's just Nubs who rolled on his inspiration. Rolled at 9. He also rolled at 9.
Got you.
So it was
Okay.
very late.
Okay, right. So average plus the modifier of 1 based on Abard. Okay. The DC for this was an 18. They're on flying mounts. You're on foot. And some level of horses. I think some of you are still on horses. They are making ground on you and fast. What do you do?
I mean, we're still pretty stealthy, right?
You are,
That sort of direction.
but you're also then competing against sheer numbers when it comes to ice.
Happy to get opinions from the party, but I think we basically got to press. I mean, where else are we going to go? We've got to press on.
Medica is still like hair trigger ready to launch any thunder if needed.
It feels like we're pretty committed to this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep pushing on.
Okay.
Keep pushing on.
The riders into their columns now start to open up and build out. They pass over the kind of very far stragglers through the tree line as they start to come closer and closer now. You just keep on pressing.
Yes,
Yeah, I'd say so.
absolutely. Yep.
It's gonna haul ass.
Another few moments of you just running, pursuing this hopeful area of this ravine. The mass of riders starting to now filter out, starting to spread further and further along, doing very similarly to what those in the tree line were doing, in terms of gaining just as much distance and width across this whole area as possible as they scan. Probably around a quarter of a mile away from that edge. And what you see is a number of trees in that distant area. I'm just making a few rolls. As the terrain begins to slightly change, as the tree line now starts to merge over into the rocky area, there are more opportunities for cover.
And I think we are far away from the original place, so my original thundercloud is at least too far away for me to concentrate on.
Okay.
You got a pass without trace though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Medica, as the lightning cloud starts to dissipate now, the revealing of the sheer number of riders, as there's some you see starting to circle around at the back as they all begin to like filter and spiral out into these columns and spreading out. You make it over to a tree line, and as you peek over a ridge, you see probably 500 meters away what looks to be the ravine circling around. Passing around the bend, you start to see this outcropping of ravine that looks to open into this wooded area, and a gorge that extends into a cliff face. And to the right is a drop that just completely goes off, and you can imagine, based on from where you saw your torches fall, that this goes even further down and down. Ahead you now see the mountains, which you are certain your destination lies, and for a moment you feel a sense of relief. But the riders are now catching up. As you peek over this area, 1, 2 riders pass over your head, and they miss you. Another 2.
Shamash just says to the group, looks like my charm works, even when I'm not seen. Big toothy smile.
Shut up!
Sorry.
Avard takes out like a hanky from his pocket and puts it over his horse's head. Stuff.
Okay.
The horse instantly freaks out.
Medica casts a thaumaturgy to make a certain type of lightning strike in the distance sound in the little bit further away from them.
Okay. The thunder rolls off the edges of the hills and the mountains around you.
Can I whisper to Zephyros? Head towards the thunder, but not exactly to the thunder. We're further along the ravine.
So, at this you hear just the, oh, you're still there, are you? I was wondering where you'd gone. Do you need me, or no?
I'm not sure. What should I say to Zephyros, boys? Looking
Well-
specifically at Nubs or Hunger.
I'm just going to turn to Avon in kind of indignance and confusion. What do you mean? What is he saying to you? I can't hear him.
Yeah, we asked you. What did he ask you?
He asked if he needs us and if he wants us. If he
Wait, hold on. He asked if he needs us. And what? Well,
if
only he
he
would know
wants
that,
us,
wouldn't he?
if we want him to come. He's talking to me directly to my brain now, so you've got to understand he's chosen the best communicator of the party to speak to.
Very
I have an
apologise.
excellent education.
Clearly. So, do we need him to come and pick us up? That would be lovely. But will he just get fried by all these seagulls attacking? I'm seeing his old man's face getting eaten by seagulls in my head. That's what I'm seeing. You know? Is he bringing reinforcements? Who's with him? Tell him it's
I'm not
dangerous.
entirely clear what you want me to convey.
Just
Right, one
please
second,
ask
love.
him if he can break
Um,
some swords or something.
So, Zephy,
Yes.
is it just you? I don't suppose you've got. There's about maybe 60 or so of these seagull boys. Is it just you, or you brought anyone else along?
Well, it is me and Sirac.
Right. Wouldn't it be good if Sirac were to fall into. Hang on. Let's figure it. Which one was Sirac?
He's
Sirac,
Artis
Sirac,
Simbar's son.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, well, we don't want him to get captured, do we? Right. Zephy, might be best if you just hold on for a minute. We'll let you know if we need to pick up in a hurry. That might happen, but I'd say at the moment, try and stay out of the way. Maybe stay really high.
Okay. I mean, I take the hint. If you just don't want to see me anymore, I can just go and do other things.
No, I really can't stress how much we do want to see you. It's a very delicate moment.
Fine. Be like that.
Ask him. Maybe you can use lots of magic and big explosions and like stuff like that. He's
Could
wizard,
you?
yes.
Yes,
I wonder if he
Zephy.
can even
Could
create a
you?
distraction. Sorry.
Could you maybe make a distraction? Can you maybe like cause a big fire or lots of noise in a different part of the forest to get these guys to focus on that?
You want me to set fire to a forest?
Partially.
I was just waiting for a Mr. Burn stuff. Yeah.
I said burn it. We just need some form of distraction. Since fire's just where my mind goes as the first thing. It doesn't have to be fire. It could be some sort of other phenomenon.
I still do not know exactly where you are. I will try and find you based on the signal that we hold now, but it's just very hard to pinpoint. I don't want to set fire to the wrong forest.
Can he set fire to the seagulls?
Can you see the seagulls? The albatross men.
We are flying very fast through the sky at a rate of hundreds of miles per hour. I cannot see much.
What do you think would happen if you flew into a man on the back of an albatross at that speed?
At this speed, I think he would turn into a powdery paste.
What do you think would happen if you flew into 60 men on albatrosses at that speed?
Ungo started to raise one eyebrow. Hey, but Harry had his curiosity, now he has his attention.
There's only one way to find out, friend.
Right, they're flying, and everybody licks his finger to judge the wind speed, which isn't how you judge direction. He then thinks about that and pulls out a compass, and he tries to work out which, like, they're flying in a big line, right?
They're kind of like in two columns that are spread out.
Right, and can I work out which, like, compass direction they're facing in that line?
Oh, they're flying north directly towards you. Like, and they're all kind of like, you've already had two kind of fly over you. I'm imagining this is happening in very short time rather than going through this. But yes, yeah.
Right. Zephyr, fly along the ravine through the Moonwood, heading directly north, and we want you to try and take out 2 columns of men on albatrosses, or at least 1, and even the odds.
Oh. Okay. I'll try, but at this speed, this is very hard to be accurate. Okay. And you kind of hear him, Surak, get the map out. The Moonwood, you said?
Yes.
Okay. We're passing over. Where was that, Surak, on the map? Silvery Moon. We've passed off a Silvery Moon. Is this the right direction?
Yes, we've been to Silvery Moon. Quite a walk, though. You must be going really quite some speed, Zephyr.
Oh, we are.
You might say you're snapping on it.
I would imagine like that Sonic, that tower, like when a plane goes transonic, it's like flashing around the tower. They'll like shoot past, we won't hear anything.
High speed photography, like trying to focus on the castle platform.
Yeah.
We've been charging the batteries for many months waiting for you. We have a lot of power on us.
I was just like parting some of the clouds.
Just imagining like eviscerated corpses of like hundreds of birds that they've been flying through.
Yeah, the castle must be covered like, in like viscera at all times.
With that, let's take a real quick break because I need to piss real bad.
Yeah, same.
Perfect. Thank you. Go for a break. Cool, I'm back anyway.
Nice. Oh.
Oh, new OPEX tomorrow.
Oh, sick. Let's get Bristol tickets.
Yeah, I'm keen.
I'll try and take a look tomorrow. Nice. Right, we've got everyone?
I believe we do. Sam was
Me?
no, yeah, he's there.
You mean?
Yeah.
Me, that's it.
I think Jimmy's here.
Oh,
Oh, he's here.
Okay. Right, let's do this as we are short on time. I assume people need to stop at 9:30.
yeah, would be good for me.
Okay, cool. Alright, let's do this then. Okay. As you hear all of this, and so Abard, I'm imagining you're conveying all of this to the rest of the party as quickly as you possibly can. I imagine as you're on this bank looking over at this edge of the ravine, as it kind of starts to curl around, and you start to, as I would imagine, Nubs and Unger, as you're kind of looking over, trying to assess what you see in front of you. You kind of see this pass, and you see that there is a pathway running up into the mountains, and clearly that you are not far from your means out of this extremely exposed area. And overhead, the air is starting to now hum with the wild cawing of albatrosses. You see above you, and you're all still covered with Impass Without a Trace, enough to be completely unseen from this, but you really make out now the black armoured riders, as you hear them like passing over you, bellowing out commands. They sweep through the sky. And as you look back from where you came from southwards, you see this kind of these long lines of these riders. But their shouts and the moon's pale glow are swiftly overshadowed as you start to see an extraordinary sight. It starts as a speck in the sky. But as it grows and grows, you see this kind of flat cloud with a singular tower, and you really look at this and its growth and realise it is moving at a stunning speed. And Abard, through your head, you hear, "Oh yes!"
Minus 3 seconds.
We see them. Sirak, open the spire. We will pass by. I seem to remember one of you liked lightning. Well, we've had some fun with our tower whilst we've been waiting in Daggerfoot. Why don't you cast some on the tower and see what it can do? And you now start to see the cloud become bigger and bigger, and you start to hear down the chain of these riders as they all start to notice something appearing in their airspace, starting to shout. As you start to see one of the riders above you, he stops and turns and starts to look out in that direction. And you start to see now all of this chain of riders begins to pivot and starts to look out towards this site. And as you look at the cloud and the tower out in the distance, you see a glittering pulse of blue light flickering to life, snaking through the windows of the tower. And your eyes track the surge as it climbs to the spire, casting the entire structure in an ethereal glow. And the tower, you see now, probably a mile away from southwards from where you've come from. You see as it connects and smashes through a rider, and you see this plume of what you must only think is blood, feathers, and limbs fly off, and it's smashing through this line, 5 down, 6 down, 7 down, and you start to hear the rider who was pivoted above you start to let out a terrifying scream as he starts to try and move out of the way. You see the next column of riders over the other side of the ravine all looking to do the same as they start to try and pivot out of and moving out of the way. And Abard, you hear in your head Zephyros just like, yes! It's like, shoot now! And the cloud becomes closer and closer to you as it starts to go at a huge speed out towards you. It's probably half a mile away from you at this stage. It's moving at a terrifying speed.
Medica, would you mind casting lightning on the old Towery Rowery?
I thought you'd never ask.
Amazing. Okay. Right, with a 21, and... Okay, amazing. 21. Medica, describe to me as you call lightning as it hits against the spire of Zephyros's tower.
I would say all the electrical charges that were created by that tower just blasting through the air, through all the clouds and everything, that makes it easier for me to start casting again and utilize that power.
Amazing. And as you start to cast this, it comes back into your cloud. As Zephyros's tower smashes directly through the cloud, the bolts of lightning start to conduce around the spire, and it begins to light up. And then, almost as if time seems to slow, a deafening crack splits the night as beams of raw electric energy erupt from the peak of the tower, and they hurtle out like a Tesla coil, connecting with whatever is available within the space around it, moving at this terrifying speed. Beams of raw energy just start to connect, and you see riders just falling off of their mounts out into the sky as Zephyros's tower then duly smashes through them, ploughing through them. And the sky just ripples in this magnetic wave, and this shimmering burst from it expands outwards, kind of in the spherical area where it just overlaps this oncoming horde in this blinding flash, and the night is alive with power. And you feel this kind of shudder of awe down all your spines and your nervous system in disbelief as Zephyros's tower just passes overhead, and you feel all of your hair, or whatever it might be, just like flap, as if he just passes kind of like 40 foot overhead, and the rider that was pivoting above you see just disappear into just this black red dust cloud. And Abod, you hear through your mind, and in fact, now as the signal starts to connect, you all hear these words in your mind. I'll keep this group busy. Run, my little ones. And you now see all of the riders that remain in the sky all start to pivot their attention to this tower as they all start to chase after it. And the voice of Zephyros instilled in all of your heads now kind of gives you this new wave of motivation as you look back to the pass ahead.
Howdy-ho, then.
Is that what he said? Do?
What do you... Should we go? I think we should go.
He's talking to us all now, I believe.
What?
Yeah, you all heard that last message, sorry.
We all heard that.
Okay, cool, right.
Good. Okay.
We go.
Okay.
Move.
The final stretch as you all run over the bank down into this more wooded area now, heading towards the bend. Where are we? Passing around the bend, you now start to see this kind of outcropping in the ravine, and this wooded area starts to build. You now get a clearer view of the cliff face and that terrifying drop below. And you look up to the mountains, and you start to feel a sense of relief. It will be far harder for any of the pursuers to follow you into these hills. and your eyes fall to the gorge in front, and you see this crumbling rocky path to the left. But then what you also see is a singular tree trunk laid across as a makeshift bridge. And at the edge of this, closest to you, you see these tassels led on these two strings that kind of form an arch over the tree.
Okay. Shamash is just going to pop himself over to the other side straight away, just using Misty Step. Just
So you're not close. He's not close enough to make it over, and it would the reach of the tree line would be would be far too far for him to Misty Step over. So you haven't made it to the edge of the tree just yet. I'm just explaining to you what the surrounding of you is. It's more an opportunity to decide on what you're doing next.
Make for the tree bridge, I say.
Yes.
It's nice and wide, at least for someone my size.
Yeah.
Is it wide enough for horses?
Looking at the tree, it is only like 5 foot wide trunk. It's a large tall tree, but it is very narrow in terms of that. A horse would absolutely be able to pass over it, but with difficulty. It is a rounded tree trunk. And I'll say at this stage, you're probably about 200 meters away, but you can make out the area from there. Yeah.
How many horses do we have there at this point as well, by the way? Just one, right? And then plus Abard's grandpa. But he can kind of disappear when needed.
I think
it's just
2.
Medica is listening for his horse because it is somewhere. It is
Okay.
not with us.
Not with you. Okay, fine.
Right. So we just have one other horse with us, I think, right?
I think
Or two.
It would have been the one that Ungo would have been on?
Yeah. But,
Well, Nubs and
Finn
Finnan share a
sharing
horse.
horse as well.
Yeah.
So there's two, and there's the one that Shamash got killed, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's just 2.
Yeah. Shaman's horse is killed, and 2 regular horses and 1 ghost horse, and
Yeah,
1 is
plus
missing.
One crazy ass horse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's missing at the moment.
Okay. So you're around 200 meters away from the bridge as you start. Are you just going for it?
I think so.
Who might as well.
I'd say beeline for the bridge.
Okay, beelining to the bridge. Okay, cool. Amazing.
Medica is hesitant. He's a little bit left behind.
Okay. So hanging back at the back, Medica, watching the rest of the party run. As you start to all run over towards this now, you're starting to look more and taking this in. The kind of cliff face kind of arcs around now. There's definitely ways you'd be able to make your way around, but absolutely the tree looks like the most solid of choices. And looking at the kind of area in front with the tassels and the rope around it, it looks like it's been put here on purpose. It is a mode of getting around. As you kind of get closer and closer, 100 meters, getting closer, as your eyes now follow along this rudimentary bridge to assess its state, your eyes stop at its end, and over the other side, let me give you the estimating that the tree itself, in terms of its length, bridging the gap, is over 100 feet in length. You spy on the other side this curling path that follows up into the mountains, but on the other edge, on the other side, is a large boulder, and atop this boulder, your eyes stop as you see this strange, thin-looking white dog-like creature that is standing, hairless, with a conical face that is topped by a long, thin, pink tongue that hangs loose. And the creature is just standing there, looking at you, observing you all as you run around the path. What do you do?
Can Finnan try and recognise the creature?
Yeah, roll me whatever check you like.
Perception?
Yeah, perception, nature, survival, whatever you want.
It's a brilliant roll. Of 10.
So I'm imagining you're all still kind of running this like last 100 meters over to the tree. Looking at this creature as you kind of like lay eyes on it, you don't recognize this thing at all. It looks kind of like a dog. It's quadrupedal, but its face, everything about its hairless being looks odd to you.
Okay. I'm imagining I'm like running in. We've been running a little while now, so Finnan's like out of breath and oh god, and he just can't like process anything as well, just adding to the blurriness.
Abard being jostled around the back of his horse gets his book out and tries to like hold it down in front of Finnan to see if he can like, help
Just
him.
like jostling around in front of my eyes, like ah.
I'll allow you to assist at disadvantage with as you start to kind of open your tome of monsters.
I'll do like a history at disadvantage, maybe.
Sure. 15.
Good book.
As luck would have it, you kind of spin through these pages, like I can imagine like you literally open up to a random page, and you think you see it, and the page in the haste like flips over itself, and you're desperately trying to find your way back, thumbing your way back to that page. Like I swear, I saw it. And by the time you open it up, and find a page, you are at the edge of the trunk, and looking at it, it doesn't have like a particularly interesting name. It is just called Abadog, and you remember like from your tome of monsters, it is something that's been passed down by adventurers over the years. They are far from scientific names. They are far from like the Latin equivalent of a name. They're based on stories and tellings of it. And as you look down through the description, you just kind of read these scrawled notes. An aberration that can smell blood for as far as it seems possible.
It's very good at smelling blood, lads. Be careful. Nobody bleed.
It's not a friendly thing, then, I assume.
Probably not. It's an Abadog.
It looks completely fucked up.
It does
Sorry,
indeed
I
appear
think
to
it
be
does. It's got a tongue on its head, but it's not inside its mouth.
a bit busted.
Why is its head so cone-shaped? It's not a dog I would call my friend.
Keeps his lunch down.
Change from a less violent playlist.
Is it guarding the bridge, do you think? I mean, what the fuck?
You see its tongue like flutter,
Oh!
Party.
and as you
The
see
only one
that,
smiling and nodding is Shamash.
you see like a large as it does that flutter, you see this like bulbous growth under its neck grow, and then kind of like almost pulsate out, and then come back in as it's like breathing.
Jeez.
I say we kill it. No, I don't even
Yes.
care. I don't want it to exist. Yeah,
Good.
yeah. We kill it, yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna kill it straight away. Okay. Shamash, can you just blow it up using shatter or something like that? Just make it explode?
So like any weaknesses in the book at all, eh, Bard? Or just telling us how deadly it is?
Just trying to work.
You read further down, and you say because of that.
Yeah, no, primarily what they.
Oh, sorry.
Primarily, what the notes are in this book is like which members of Abard's family have managed to kill it, and he kind of judges the difficulty based on like who he respects most.
Nice.
Sorry, Andy.
No, that's okay. You kind of read further down, like a strange dog, because of the dog-like bodies and propensity to form into packs when hunting large numbers of prey. Otherwise known as blood sappers, are frequently confused with evil canids like wargs or hellhounds, despite their clearly aberrant nature. Some believe these blood sappers were artificially created, potentially by aboleth scientists or perhaps vampire mages.
Right, we might want to be a little bit careful. They have a propensity to form packs, so there could be more of them. Got to watch out for that propensity. Emmerich, and just looking back to see
Emmerich's just like
meters away.
he's panting. He's panting. Oh my goodness! I can't run. Master. Yes. How can I serve?
Yes, Abard actually leans down and passes him a canteen of water, so that he can take drinks. You know about the vampires and familiars and whatnot. That's not an old friend of yours, by any chance, is it?
No. I've not seen one before, but if anything from my previous master, anything that would have been vampiric is able to communicate. Have you tried talking to it, maybe?
No. Just
It is
Well,
not a
volunteered.
usual thing. What? Yes.
Go on.
yeah, you talk to him. Go on.
Me?
Yes.
I'm going to kind of nudges Emmerich forward, just to the front of the group. He kind of nudges him to the front.
You live with a vampire for 500 years or whatever the hell.
But
You should be alright.
yes, but we mainly just sat in lounges of lovely houses.
Right, don't worry, Emmerich. I'll come with you and I'll help. And Abard holds Emmerich's hand, and they walk to the edge of the bridge.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Can't be brave,
Hello
be
there,
brave.
friend of vampires. I know that Emmerich's still speaking, but Abard is just speaking speaking over it, just ignoring it completely. What ho, friend of vampiric devils?
The creature just looks back at,
Already at this point.
and you just see the tongue go again, and the bulbous
What's it smiling?
And let me see if let me see if I can share an image of you actually, just so it helps. This is what it looks like. I think hopefully you can see that. Has that appeared?
Oh my god.
Whoa. Oh, that's fuckier than I expected.
Why has it got a foresight on it?
Emmerich kind of looks back at you. Hey, Buzz. My master once had a dog that could speak, and he was quite literate. This one does not seem that way inclined. Maybe he can't speak common?
Right. I'm beginning to wonder if he maybe speaks dead. Any ideas, lads? Anyone? I can try Dwarvish or Elvish.
You said it's vampiric,
I
right?
have. Oh dear.
Yeah. Go
Yes.
for it.
We kill it and then we burn it.
Sounds good to me.
I do wonder if there might be more of them over there.
We kill them too. Yes.
Will it, us killing it, will it somehow alert the other ones? I don't know. I don't see how that could happen. I mean, surely it's fine. It's surely fine. Maybe we'd lure it over the bridge and just sort of, give it a little... Oh, it's halfway over. You know what I mean?
Right, yes, let's lure it. Abard, pulls out a bit, sliver of bacon. Emmerich, just hold that. And just, gets the sword out and steps away from him a little bit. Just stay middle of the bridge. Good.
What? Get closer?
No.
Just a smidge. Snubs
Standing
hiding behind
away?
the rock, like lying his bow on the rock to almost steady it a little bit, like just lining it up with one eye, a little draw. That's about right.
Right. Hang on, actually. And Abard gets a rope from the back of his horse, ties it onto the stirrup, and then ties the other end onto Emmerich's leg. So when it comes, he'll yank you away. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the bacon then.
Yeah.
Got to get him right to the middle of that bridge. There's Nubs. Gives him a little wink and a nod.
Okay. Emmerich kind of shuffles over the tree trunk.
Oh, and one thing, Emmerich.
Yes.
Don't misstep, or you'll fall down and probably slam against the rock face before he can drag you up. Just so you know.
Oh. I prefer the vampire lounges. Okay. I'm going. Be brave, Emmerich.
Good man.
Be brave.
Well done, Emmerich.
He steps foot out onto the trunk. He rolls an athletics check. You see, he kind of he swings over, and he manages to get his balance. Oh God! Oh, here, Abadog, here, Abadog. And the beast's tongue goes again, and the of its neck, and it daintily steps 1 foot and another. And at this stage, I say Emmerich is probably about 30, 40 foot out to the middle of the trunk at the moment. As the dog starts to walk further and further down onto the edge of the trunk at the other end. Emmerich's going to make an animal handling check. She rolls a 17 for. Here, Abadog. Here, Abadog. And the Abadog starts to 1 foot after the other move over onto the tree trunk. It's working.
Yes. That's the spirit, Emmerich.
Yeah, keep it up, Emmerich. Just keep it up. I'll be just.
How?
Turning to Nubs, Abard goes, I really think maybe I should have tied the rope around his waist rather than his leg.
It'll be alright, says Nubs, closing one eye and knocking an arrow, starting to half draw it. He licks his finger and just pulls on one of his little whiskers before putting his head down to his bow.
Unger reaches into his bag for his javelins. He goes, and he grabs one of the 2 javelins and readies it in his hand.
Abard also readies a javelin.
The Abadog slowly minces its way further down the trunk.
Oh, I don't even like it.
10 foot. Yeah.
Sassy bastard.
It moves 10 foot. It moves 15 foot down. And
Right, stop walking back now, Emmerich. Sorry, my
Okay.
connection got down. Just interrupted. Sorry.
That's right. I can hear you fine.
That's right.
It's all good.
He's at 15 feet. Nubs will now use his once-a-day bow of the Whispering Wind to hopefully blast it the fuck off the bridge as he shoots it with his that.
Okay. Roll me an attack.
Cool. I will, but for some reason I'm not. Oh, God. Apologies. Alright. 23.
Okay. Explain to me as your arrow loses. Paint me a
Okay, cool.
picture.
So, just leaning over the little rock there. All you see is just a few bits of moss just flick off the side of the stone Nubs was leaning on as he sets it off, and the arrow silently glides up until it's almost right next to Emmerich. And as soon as it hits, a huge gust of wind just fires from sort of the end of the arrow, just sends this horrible little dog just bouncing off into the ravine, making split, splat, wet noises all the way down. It doesn't make any shrieks or anything. You just see it go. All you see is its tongue frantically flailing as it tries to grab onto pieces of rock to no avail. Just as it's like falling down.
And just as that happens, as the arrow looses and connects into the Aberdog, what you will do is like a reaction. Like, are you celebrating or what happens?
Unger just like sighs relief. Like, oh.
Nub just has a disgusted look on his face. I think even after that, even the way it dies was horrible. Just like, sorry.
As it's kind of still falling, Emmerich turns on the tree trunk and he looks back at you all, and he just smiles. And as he smiles, you see as a bolt flies through the back of his head, and you see all expression of any smile disappear, and as life disappears from Emmerich's face, as he drops to his knees on the branch and cascades off the side. From behind him, standing atop the boulder, is a black hooded figure. And Emmerich's corpse is just hanging off the rope now as you hear it splat against the side of the cliff.
As soon as Unger sees that black figure, he's just going to let loose a blood-curdling scream as he charges forwards and completely recklessly throws this javelin.
Okay.
I was going to say, Nubs has also knocked another arrow and loosed it by this time as well. It's already off.
Okay.
It's actually in. By the time he stood up on the top of the boulder, it's already midair and flying towards him now.
The double natural one is pretty apt because there's an immediate reaction you see of wall of force as both your arrow and your javelin just splinter off the side. And as the wall of force disappears, you see the hooded figure once again. It moves its face down to what you can only imagine is Emmerich's body hanging loosely against the cliff face. And he looks up at you all. An eye for an eye.
I'll take both your fucking eyes! Snub's like jumping on top of the rock, readying his bow once again for another volley of arrows.
Now, where are my notes? Sorry. And looking up as you shout that out, Nubs, you just hear a croaking laugh fill the forest around you. And even by the guttural voice that you hear, the recognition is pretty immediate. And you see two hands pull up and extend to pull down its hood, whilst another two hands from its mid-range open its cloak. This is the fourth time now that you've come into interaction, or at least into sight of this beast. And you know its name that has been spoken by the fire giant Duke Zolto when you overheard a conspiratory conversation not so long ago. You know this creature now to be Guld. And from across the ravine, the voice comes back out and through the forest. Your interfering has gone too far. Imagine my sadness when I come to visit dear Duke Zolto to find he has drowned in the tomb he called the Forge. Here we are again. Luckily, those pathetic yak folk gave up your intent easily enough. And now it is time for you to hand over the vestiges. For you have no idea the power they hold or the doom they bring. The ordning of the giants was just the first to fall. The last of your kind is already ending. Can't you feel it?
No, no, I can't actually.
Unger wouldn't have even be sprinting across the bridge at full tilt currently.
Okay, he's just going for it.
sprinting across the bridge, enraged.
Okay.
Sure, he's like preparing a spore ball to lob.
Okay. If that's the case, we move into initiative.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Excellent.
There's no reasoning with this asshole.
There is not.
Okay. Right. What we'll do is we'll roll initiative next session because we're at time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will start this off in initiative. Next session is Emmerich's dead body hangs from the rope against Abard's horse's waist or whatever it is. Go for it.
I just want to say the first thing you said when Emmerich turned around and was about to say something, and it was obvious something happened to him. I imagined like the Lord of the Rings Balrog and the tongue coming back up.
That would have
I
been
was
pretty
thinking the
awesome.
same. And then the start of next session is the scene of Emmerich falling with the dog.
I don't know for it. Yeah, sword.
He would be falling if he wasn't tied to a rope attached to Abard's horse, unfortunately. If the bolt to the head didn't kill him, certainly the smack against the cliff face certainly did. Oh shit. Amazing, nice one boys. A good sesh. Yeah, we pick it up in initiative next week as you show down once again with Gald. What I will leave you with, just to kind of paint the picture, is as the rest of you see Unger just dashing across the tree line. What you also... Sorry, the tree line. The tree. For those astute of you, to the left, you see the tree line quiver. And in fact, what I will do is I'll land you all on the map so you can have a real quick look and observe. And just quickly take into mind where we'll be next week. Let me shift us all over.
Whilst that is going on, I'll just have to say, like, of course, I'm going to be away next week, but I can paint a picture what Medica is doing because he stayed behind more because he was expecting to hear a familiar sound of hooves, and he is further behind than the rest of the party.
Okay.
But
Got it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's going to be still like noticing. Oh, holy shit! There's a fight going on. So he's going to, of course, fight.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you. Amazing. So hopefully you can all see the map now.
Yes.
Is that showing for everyone?
Is it like relatively low res? Or is that?
Is
just
it?
mine failing to load?
No, it took me a while to load
Ah,
in.
yeah.
It's probably quite high res, and it's just taking a while to
Yeah.
upscale.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's all good.
Nice.
Yeah, so what you would see as Unger starts to make a break for the tree line up here quivers and parts, and you kind of start to hear the ground shaking with deep rumbling tremor, and you start to see from the shadowy canopy emerges something large. That's as much as I'm going to give you for now.
Who wants to play Medica next week?
What date will it be next week? Right, 12th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do Medica, I suppose. Well, I'm not more. I think Medica maybe is better handled by
I could do Medica.
Charlie because he knows about the more melee stuff like that. I'm not very good at melee. That's why I normally do take Shamash.
Well, I have some because he was revamped a few times ago. Like, but yeah, I can fill Charlie in with what is going on.
Nice. Yeah, I took Medica last time, so I'll do Medica.
Sounds good.
And then on the 19th,
Yes.
Not next week, but the week after that. I won't be here, unfortunately.
That's cool.
But still fine if you guys want to play. Just saying.
Yeah, all good. So I'm just watching someone draw. I'm imagining it's Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
doing that too.
Outstanding.
Oh, no.
Just like trying to get a little picture of Emmerich's leap, you know?
That's actually made me angry as well. That's
Nah.
fucking. We get this guy. I just want to like also pin him on down on the ground and just Bungus and just to be punching him in the face until it's like, you know, in Pulp Fiction.
How's
Not Pulp
fucking
Fiction,
boner, man?
Sin City.
gonna-
Where it's just like that guy's just his face. is
Oh,
completely
yeah.
gone.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Brunson's a fair bit stronger than when we last met.
The whole parties, I think, aren't they?
Might hopefully pop his head like Mountain versus Oberyn Martell.
Amazing.
I
Awesome,
know,
boys.
that's shocking. Shocking to hear.
Can't believe Emmerich's
Emmerich
died.
done that.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
Big law.
Oh, bloody nowhere as well, yeah.
Unger just sees red.
Actual Shamash is going to be raging.
Yeah. Smash the,
Just Aiden, we've got some terrible news. What
Not
happened?
valid.
Your valet is gone.
been killed. It's not our fault, probably.
dear.
I mean, barely. It's barely our fault.
We tied a safety rope round him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was giving.
Didn't throw the fucking javelin in his face.
Didn't put him in a unsafe situation at all, sending him towards a vampiric dog.
We
Yeah.
had the dog under control.
Well, that plan worked perfectly.
Yeah. I just like
Yeah,
the
that
picture of it like
that went
flailing
fine.
pathetically with its tongue as it fell down
Yeah.
into the ravine.
Give me the Lord of the Rings imagery.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh shit, maybe his little flappy tongue's going to grab him around the leg. At least we had him tied up though, so we'd be alright with that.
Just Emmerich like lobs the bacon back to us and goes, "Fry, fools!"
Oh my god. Oh, my brain doesn't work fast enough to be able to do that. That would have been amazing, though. I genuinely didn't foresee Emmerich being basically used as bait. I should have, though. I feel like I should have.
Us use one of our like companions as bait.
Hi,
It's alright,
never.
we have more.
Is that
Yeah,
what
imagine
Hurry, you're a
that
man.
looked the last two?
Yeah.
we'd put ads in towns whenever we pass through. So like,
Yeah.
low profiles are looking for a squire. And all the townspeople's like, not a single one of their companions has survived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Like we're infamous. Well, companions are always dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sign up
jeez.
today
The only one.
for a life of adventure.
The only one. The only one who survived is the child that we decided was too young to come with us on any actual dangerous.
Well, unconfirmed. Did,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
did
really.
we send them
unfair.
off and like we haven't heard from them? Or something
Yeah,
like
we
sent
that?
him off
we
with
sent
that.
him off with a cloak and a spear.
No, did we send him off with what's his name? Like the guy who's
Oh.
confirmed bachelor. What's his name?
Cool.
Cobwin,
Yeah.
yeah, Cobwin, the confirmed bachelor. Yeah, so he's probably safe.
Yeah, potentially.
Do you know what a cod piece is? Was the last thing he was
Yeah.
Do you remember that boy's name, though? That's the
I
question.
like the all-round Cobwin, like being a
um,
bit like Smithers, like it's neither confirmed or unconfirmed, but everyone knows what he's like.
A small child. It's upset. I'll tell the boys. Fuck. His name will be here something. Colton Reynolds.
Yeah, yes, Colton Reynolds.
Colton Reynolds.
Apparently he'd heard of the Helmers. And brought up that the Abod lost his castle, and Abod didn't like him anymore after that.
News travels fast in the slums.
Yeah. Oh, nice. When was that? July last year.
So one of my favourite things is when that guy who's looting the town after the battle, that old man or whatever, tried to run away. We shot an arrow so his trousers fell off. Slash all the treasure just fell out.
Oh
It's a
dear.
great moment. The last session was called Gugu Gugu Booger Sungugu Gugulin. Goodbye Sungugu. I think this one's going to be called Cloud Fort 1-1 How Copy, which is because we just came in so fast. Wait, this is Cloud Fort 1-1. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's so good, Sam.
Thank you.
Oh, fucking with the music as well. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Wait, so Seth is like just airstriking, or
Currently, I would imagine the last you saw, Zephyros was like big time beefing the remaining riders in the sky as he's kind of like having an aerial showdown with them all as you kind of make your escape.
Yeah, I imagine he's got like some A9 Warthog. Yeah.
You heard that? Do we because he's spoken to all of us individually now, in our heads, do we have the ability to speak to him, or must he be sort of concentrated? I don't.
No, so I guess the rules around it I bend them slightly in terms of like so he had been scryed on by Abard, which Abard rolled really low when he scryed on Zephyros. So Zephyros, being the intelligent wizard that he is, was easily able to notice he was being scryed and was able to latch onto that signal. So he was able to build a connection back into, and basically he just scryed on Abard to be able to try and build a connection to understand where you'd all been.
Nice.
But in terms of you being able to know, so I imagine what it was almost like is, as he was like passing directly over you, you all attuned into the signal that he was passing into Abard's brain. Yeah. He just, as you know, when you pass another car who's using the same frequency for like your Bluetooth or Bluetooth connector.
Yeah.
I imagine it's kind of like that.
Brief little. Nice. Okay. Oh, give me. Oh.
That's a log. A good session, boys.
Yeah, good sesh.
Nice.
Yeah, great session.
Yeah, nice one, boys. We'll pick it up in the heat of battle next week.
Just
Hell yeah.
one last